Lawsuits are flowing in against the hair relaxer industry, purporting claims of various cancers due to their prolonged use. We want to welcome Kayla Lattimore, toxic exposure attorney at the Motley law firm. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you for having me.
So just in doing some research, I've noticed a lot of stories being done on these lawsuits. When did the lawsuits start to kick off?
Right, so I would say they started to kick off around November or December of last year in 2022.
Why so recent? Because hair relaxers and other chemical type stuff have been around for a very long time.
Correct. There was recently a study released. It was actually called the Sister Study. And in this study, a woman was actually conducting research, a doctor, on how chemical relaxers can cause different health effects in women. And they actually found that women who use hair relaxers are 4 times more likely to have uterine cancer or ovarian cancer than women who don't.
Wow. For anybody who's not familiar with what a hair relaxer is, can you explain what it is and what the chemical is that has been linked to these cancers?
Of course. So a hair relaxer is a product that women put at the base of their hair. Some women can purchase it at a store like Walmart or Target, maybe even CVS or Rite Aid. Some women go into a salon and get it applied. You apply it to the base. It's a chemical. It sits on your hair for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. You rinse it out, and what it does, it takes a usually coiled or curly hair, it makes it chemically straight. So the process can take anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes. And most women are going to go back and continuously get hair relaxers every 6 weeks, sometimes as often as every 3 weeks. Wow. And they do it for years.
Right, and how early are girls, men, boys started on these hair relaxers typically?
Right. So based on the cases that we've been discussing, I would say the earliest I've seen is maybe 7 or 8.
Wow.
And some women use it their whole lives.
Yeah.
I've spoken to a woman who's 70 years old, and she's been using hair relaxers since she was about 10.
Goodness gracious.
Consistently. Yeah.
Wow. And I mentioned girls and boys. Have you heard of any cases among men who have been diagnosed with cancer, maybe linked to using chemical relaxers?
At this point, no. The cancer cases that we have been taking in and dealing with mainly deal with uterine cancer, ovarian cancer, and endometrial cancer. So we haven't really touched into that space yet, but the main focus and what we've noticed is a lot of cancers in women, mainly Black women or brown women of African descent that use these products.
Right, and what would you say is the percentage of women in that demographic that use that product?
Oh goodness. I would say, honestly, at least 60 or 70% of Black women have probably used a hair relaxer at some point in their life.
Yeah.
Maybe not continuously, but I think it would be difficult to find any Black woman who doesn't know someone personally who uses hair relaxers.
Right.
I mean, it's very common. My mom has been using hair relaxers for over 40 years. It's just very, very normal for us.
And you say that about 40 of these lawsuits have been filed thus far. So we're probably going to see many, many more as the year progresses.
Correct.
Now, what are we hoping to achieve here? Because we're already looking at the medical research that has linked it. I mean, is it, part and parcel connected to these chemicals, would you say?
Yeah, and I think that we want to continue to push for more research, because the truth is some of these studies and hair relaxers are just understudied. So now that we've had this sister study expose, all of these different avenues of research are coming up about how these hair relaxers are being linked to cancers, the EDCs, which are endometrial disrupting chemicals. These chemicals are known to cause cancer and are in these hair relaxers. So our proposal is, we're not sure if we can remove the cancer-causing chemicals or if we need to just take them off the shelf. Our goal is that we just want women to have a healthy chance. We want women to know what's being put into their body.
I don't know if you know these numbers, but do you have some statistics as far as how many women have suffered this type of cancer that have been using these chemicals? I mean, do we know what that looks like?
Well, right now we know that women who use a hair relaxer are 4 times more likely to have the endometrial, ovarian, and uterine cancer. We don't have an exact percentage just yet on how many women are using them or the cancer causes, but we do know that the risk is a lot higher, it seems to be, with women who are using these products.
I see. For anyone who's watching this us and wants more information on what you're doing, so is this going to be a class action, or is this individually that you're representing people?
So that's definitely our goal. We want to start a class action, but right now we're really focused on getting clients. We want to make women aware. I think the biggest thing is that some people just don't know. It's something that is out there, but they're not really sure what's going on. So Motley Rice wants to open our doors. If you have been diagnosed with endometrial, ovarian, or uterine cancer, reach out to us. We want to make sure that people's stories are being heard, and we can hold these businesses and companies and manufacturers liable. I mean, it's serious. It's not just cancers. It can affect their reproductive health.
Of course.
Women are getting hysterectomies at earlier ages, early menopause and miscarriages. So we do not want to make light of such a serious situation.
Indeed. Kayla, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you
we
for
appreciate your
having
time.
me.
We're back in 2 minutes.